Hey guys, you're back with Steph and Dennis, and today we're coming at you with what we think will be an interesting video for you all. You know that on this channel we talk all the time about our personal budgets, and now that we've made a big life change by being self-employed, if you haven't checked out our previous few videos, make sure you check those out to get caught up on that. So we thought it'd be interesting to go over how our budgets have changed from working in our corporate jobs to now being self-employed, and we also thought we'd throw in what we spent in our last month, which is our first month both being self-employed together. So we're gonna be covering my budget, Dennis's budget, and how much we both spent this month, including a few business expenses. And I'm also gonna be talking later in the video about the new credit card that I got recently from Neo Financial. We actually first heard about Neo over the summer from a few different comments that we kept getting on our channel, and now we're excited to be working with them for a portion of today's video. So before we get started, make sure you show us some love down below by hitting that like and subscribe button for us, and let's jump into the video.
Okay, so before we go over what's actually going out, I just want to quickly mention that we haven't talked about what's coming in. We will be doing a video soon on all of our new income streams, but to give you guys a high-level idea of what's been going on, basically we've been paying ourselves out $2,000 a month just to cover our basic expenses, and then the rest of the money is either in our business bank account or we set it aside for taxes. More to come in that video. Okay, so for me, if we take a look at my old budget versus my new budget now that we're self-employed, I gotta say there haven't been that many big changes just because my budget was already pretty frugal to begin with. So if we take a look at my rent, I'm still paying $9.25. When we look at utilities, I've still got anywhere from $30 to $60 budgeted, depending on the season, depending on the time of year. Usually in the summertime, it's much less than during the wintertime when we're paying more because we're heating our condo essentially. I'm personally still paying $45 for my phone bill, which I think is a pretty good deal. And then my Netflix account that I actually share with my family, that's around $16, $17. And then finally, groceries are still sticking at that $300 mark. Now, one thing that was supposed to change was our internet bill. So Steph is actually on me about this because I said I would call them and get it changed into our new service provider, but I haven't done that yet. But basically we're with Rogers right now, and our plan has actually gone all the way up to $120 a month just for internet, which is ridiculous. So what we are going to be switching to is FiberStream, which I think is strictly affiliated with a lot of the condos downtown. So FiberStream is going to be about $50 a month. So sometime in the next couple weeks, we're definitely switching to that. Oh yeah, a couple other things that aren't gonna be a part of the new budget are any business expenses. So you guys will remember from our last update, I had, for example, Adobe Creative Cloud, Epidemic Sound. Those were going through my personal account, but we've actually moved those to our business banking account, which we'll talk about in the future, and also savings and investments. So I've put a halt to any automatic contributions or automatic transfers. So my overall budgeted expenses are $1,444 every month.
So for me, I obviously before had a bit more room in my budget for the wants compared to when we were looking at Dennis's budget. So things like spending more on coffee, a little more on food per month, buying things like books, stuff like that. And I still do have some of that in my budget right now, but it's been reduced, or at least I'm trying to keep it reduced. So some of my main expenses have stayed the same, like also spending $925 personally on rent per month, about $30 per month in utilities. Netflix as well is something that's actually raised its prices over the last few months, but still pretty static for me at $16.94. And then also internet, like Dennis mentioned, we're hoping to switch providers soon, something else we've been putting off a little lately, but that's just over $60 for me per month as well. And then last up is groceries, still budgeting about $300 per month there. So some of the variable expenses that I have that have changed a little bit is coffee. My coffee budget's actually still at $50 per month, but that's something that I've gone over on before in the past. So I didn't want to unrealistically lower it for myself. So $50 on coffee shops, getting food there, whatever. I also reduced my restaurant budget from I think $100 down to $50 as well. So once or twice per month is the goal. And then also $50 for other as well, which could be toiletries from the pharmacy, stuff like that. And the last more variable or unnecessary expense, if you will, for me is kind of a new one, actually a new category, which is getting a massage. It cost me $141.25 to be exact to get one 1-hour massage per month. And that's in my budget now as well. This might seem like an unnecessary one, and it definitely can be. For me and my back and my body though, it's something that I wanted to make sure I was still doing even without my benefits. Previously I was doing this as well every month or so, but was able to expense it, but now it's just an actual budget category for me. So this brings my monthly total expense goal up to $1,726. The last thing to mention for me is my savings and investment contributions. I've also stopped doing monthly payments to those accounts for the time being until we end up paying ourselves more on a monthly payroll, and we'll talk about that more in a future video for you all too. But in the meantime, I do have have a fully funded emergency fund of about $15,000. I also have just over $10,000 in additional savings that's hopefully going towards real estate in the somewhat near future. Again, something else I'll keep you guys updated on in the channel, and just over $20,000 in my investment accounts as well. So luckily my investments will keep growing for me in the coming months until I'm able to contribute again, and hopefully that'll come up super soon as well. So stay tuned for that.
Okay, so now that we're together, we're actually gonna go over our transactions for the month of October. We're gonna go over, let me pull out my phone here. So I spent approximately $301 in total, and that's broken out between my Netflix charge, we talked about that already, and I actually had to renew my license. So that's something that I haven't, I've been putting it off. My license expired
For a year.
Yeah, for a whole year. So that was expired. It cost me $90 to finally renew it. And then I have a sport check charge of $29.37. So I actually bought a resistance band a couple weeks ago. So $29. We've also got my monthly mobile charge of $45.20. We've got an Uber charge. So the other weekend I went to a family wedding, and instead of going home, I actually decided to drive 2 people home because I was sober. And when I did drive them, yeah. So I drove them home, and then when I got to their place, I actually took an Uber back to our place. So yeah, that cost me $25.91. And then recently we got DoorDash. So we went to, what do we get? Sunset Grill, $53.50, and then a Chipotle charge of $31.04. You'll notice that I'm a bit over on my food budget. Guys, I'm not perfect, right? I don't pretend to be perfect. So sometimes I do go over on food. This is one of those months. So yeah.
That's it?
That's it.
It's always so much briefer than me, you guys. Mine's like so detailed and like too much. Okay, so I have a bunch of different stuff, and I kind of categorized it too. But so totals included, we did a shopper's run for $50, regular toiletries. I don't know what we bought, toothpaste and stuff. Our first Metro run for groceries was $275. We did Uber Eats for $60.58. I don't even remember what we ordered this month on Uber Eats. I have another charge for shoppers that was just for me. I actually had to get a new eyebrow pencil, mascara, some of those things. It's not really in the budget, but I got that. So about $137 total. There's some other things too, vitamins, stuff like that. I also, that same weekend, I was home with my family for Thanksgiving, and my mom and I did a little outing shopping we haven't done in a while. Didn't get anything crazy, but I spent $33.89 at HomeSense on a new laundry basket for us. What else? That same weekend before I went home, I spent $43 at Spatio, which is my favorite croissant place, which sounds extremely expensive. But I got my family my favorite chocolate croissants and us a few to eat as well. Went to Metro again for $108.91. One more Metro run for $29.51. Dennis just went and got us dinner that night. I wanted us to like have a little date night, so instead of ordering out, we went and got some groceries instead to make like chicken and stuff at home.
Cheaper date night, by the way.
Yeah, cheaper date night. And then we did our another Metro grocery run for $192.70. And one more Uber Eats for $55.57. Overall for me, so for coffee, my budget's $50. I spent $65 at Starbucks, so that's an X for myself. I put the X emoji in my notes. Restaurants was $116.15, which again is much over my budget of $50, so that's not good for me. Gifts is not even a category I'm supposed to have right now, but I spent $43 on those croissants. My total spending for the month, both variable and fixed, was $1,990 total, plus 16 cents. Like I said before, my budget's more so about $1,700 per month, so it was over by $200 total. Still under how much we're paying ourselves per month, so my income of $2,000, but more than I'm budgeting. Okay, so before we end this off, I wanted to jump in here and make sure I mentioned the new credit card that I said I'd been using from Neo Financial. Neo is fairly new, and it was actually created by the founders of Skip the Dishes, which is a Canadian food delivery service. And it was created to act as a digital-first alternative to the big banks, which still have the vast majority of the market share. Like I said before, we'd actually been keeping an eye out on Neo for the last couple of months, and since they're on the newer side, they're going to be continuing to come out with new features and products over the coming months. But for now, they have a no annual fee cashback credit card and a high interest savings account. So I've specifically been using the cashback credit card, which is this sleek looking card right here that I've been throwing around throughout the video. So the standard and free card, which is what I've been using, offers an average of 4% cash back with any of their partners. So think Netflix, major gas and grocery stores, Spotify, Uber Eats, Hudson's Bay, Second Cup, and more. And they also have a guaranteed minimum of 1% cash back across any of your spending. Their app lets you really easily search for and see which companies will give you higher cash back than others. And what's nice is the cash cashback is instantly, like right after your purchase, added to your wallet, and you're able to cash out at any time. Now, I really like this feature a lot because even though I've had a cashback credit card since I got my first credit card, I only have one other one from one of the big banks, I never really know how much cashback I've actually earned. And if I do go ahead and dig into it and try and figure it out, it's not as easy to actually cash out and use that money. Also, I do want to point out that the card is available across Canada, including our Quebec friends, who I know are sometimes left out with different products that we mention here on the channel, so wanted to make sure that was mentioned. Also, getting the card was super easy too. I signed up quickly online, downloaded the app, got my digital card right away to put into my Apple Wallet, and got the physical card in the mail about 2 weeks later. So now that I've been using it for just over 3 weeks, I've earned just under $32 in cash back, including the sign up bonus, and I'll make sure I keep updating you guys on the channel too as I use it longer and longer and earn more cash back over time. If you guys do want to go ahead and check it out, we'll have a link for you in the description box below as well as in the pinned comment, and leave us any of your comments and questions down there too, and we'll make sure to answer them.
Alright guys, so that's a wrap on this video. We hope that you enjoyed seeing our updated budgets and some of the changes that we've made since becoming self-employed. You know, it's definitely been a mental adjustment or a mindset shift, especially given the fact that we are taking home less money, at least in the short term. But once again, we wouldn't have made this decision if we didn't see the earnings potential in the future. And again, a big thank you and shout out to Neil Financial for working with us on this video. We will have their link down in the description box below, so make sure you check it out. Steph's been using and loving their cashback credit card, but they do also have a high interest savings account that has a 1.3% interest rate at the time of posting this video. As usual, if you haven't seen any of our previous videos, make sure you do check them out next door, and we will be back. You know the vibes. Let's go.